Boke shika chementa blekumae Oya fuenta wa blekumae Boka blekuma bakula mabi Mabi yoyo Mabi yoyo Ago gadangbe fomo bi fe ni yo jimpupa ne no fe ni minkwami amno ni mimba ni fenye do manye mi nganye hu fe ke de langba ka gbobutu aplawo ke shulawo me ni lege me le fe mi nganye fe ni fe nyi ya manye kadi nyana mi e panu ngene beje no fon kuhiwo imba panu amno ni na kan cheme tole Shin e no fon gbe na no no e won ta shi mwene ni mba pa na ke ma yu ni no ni ya no mpe gi ake ka je bi sani ona ke wonye me ko me je Ghana kupa short ko ma anu na fata wo hie amenta oni amesha wo manjumo ke wo mankusumi ni wo hia ke gadangbe amenta oni amesha hi ni je amame fi no kuchon e je ake kaji cheme ba to hegbe ake ablekuma abakuma wo shwa me nana ga hegbe ni na ka ni bia na me fi onwene amba na mba fi no onwene ba pa no ete no setele keje be kuma yino ton mu mwene hye no ida ke bo ni mi hu nule efa osane mu mafanna wo gadangbe chukwa no tra lo ife kaji ale no ni adwini na ya kashin nye nwanye kia ida ka bifa bi ke na fosan Jimmy mwena nshe mo ni minchu ne she Osofo David Bidan Bidan bona acho wale minchu mo ne yomu asheri efe ni son lo yo na me bo mi tu anu ni amechelele nweta shi ni ekweku ton bo ni nton ye ni you before bi Jimmy be me ni san ni ya no ne ke Osofo David Bidan ni ke kaje wasafi ken ya Shiba kusumi ni atun lo homwo kusumi na atun ye gadangbe efe efufemi ye momona mene ha yo mokoto moneke na kusumi na atun ye die ake wojam obila ke mene tuntu ehie ni ba yo se ake kusumi na atun ye gadangbe shipon no wojam ani heni leje ke ba kusumi beje na atun shi enye teshi enye adomo meni yo emam na metu kusumi ahia ake kusumi na metu woja mun aso enye tashi edwin tete hie ke base ne yo sake kusumi na atu woja mun kadi na kan belede ne yo jeme echata be chata ye womi enya wo ye womi e bi fen ye womi e da kadi efo amene ba wa megbe e ha mi Africa lo e ha mi shikun egbe poten ku mineke acho nche aka nan ni mu acho mi tete no ewo e bala ke kaji yanan gbe ka ke befo nya na egbogbe ba ha mi se mi ka ke shikun egbe ku fatai e wo mana gbe ku tamu ku le tete anan ne ke de anan na afi kusum na gbe o ke jo ke wu ni beto ke gbe na ka o mi ha mi won gbe ni shale e da ke jo kwe wote ameku medenche denche wo hie gbe do fo gbe ten ejwe enumu wana mko acho le Joshua Kelvin John Jerry kese o le fe gonoku mene ba ni ba le mba yele o yesa ne fi okoni ke ba hale masumu ake ne afu Osofo ba kwa bibla mi maka ni bi kuma blofu mi me ba she bi kuma hu masa ma chake yimo ma yu blofu ba she kuma masa ma yu egan bona fe ni yomo na anye hwehwon o clean ni ka se mo no ba kwe e ko npa yeli Oba na ne Genesis chapter 35 verse 14. Nya wakani ya mini bi black here. Okay. And Jacob set up a pillar in the place where he had spoken with him. A pillar of stone, and he poured out a drink offering on it. And he poured out a drink offering on it and poured oil on it. Menji kusum Jacob echu ebie je npa yiye npai echemoko npai no ne nyese wo yen 1 Samuel 7:5-6 nya wo kwa ke no hu je me mi dike Okay? So they gathered at Mizpah and drew water and poured it out before the Lord and fasted on that day and said there, we have sinned against the Lord. Jengpa no lenwe ju agbene womba keji ehye homo wa bia ni gada ngwenyu quotation aka ba yi npa ipe hey aka eja won eche won ko gba o eche won ko gba o eja won no ko meni mi ta oni wonye meni ya somo ale potenji ake dani somo ya le ba je blo fo ma denke baba she bie meni yo bie amele ake hiwale ko ye ni bo hu ni bo shipon na me tona kan hiwale ake ata na anyungo e da ka mele na ka hiwale ake yuwa mele na ka hiwale hu ake hu shamele ake hiwale ko ton na kan ye noni hani e barake amehie shikon kusumi ye ke kusumi jamu e ko meni e ga me tona me feni tamu ake wana ake hiwale ko ye sani wonyo won chongle ko no kuna ka hiwale ni yo wonyo ke go ke bule ko hana ka hiwale no hani e balake worshipun bi ye lo shipun la won me ne ke jamu ni wakaji mo ke ko je ku ke ba ni le ho ya chake hie fiuwe e ka fi ake be no ni yo be mu dani mo ke no ba no ya fi fun dabi kaji mo konta o na eyu no klan na efi oji efi o klalu ake mi bi no hie fe ni ha na yose oba ke motutuntun no oji ni sane tun hi amena egba metu na kan ni emumu na kan kpoto mo anya kpoto mumu mwene wo epie wo fin wo ya so mu wo mo mi na kan ehi wo se ke wo gbo fun oba na nyingo oba na Yesu hie ke hi shimon kusumi ni yo na ke yosi o mambie kaji o te hu enu oba anya afite kusum e chaki o shafite kusum ne wo mi to no Osofo David aliake yo mo na yu ehye me na de ne ba hye meni ye na dina ba fan ni wo blanta ni won kase kusum na ni bi lololo won kase kusum mi ni bi lololo e ga fe la ke ko le be ya fi Osofo iwo be e ba na hegbe ne ba yo mo fe yo mo nesu mo keke man fe man no mla ye aye mla na wo aye shikwen mla ni se ne ko te no ye he so de so tu wona mo ko ni la wona mo ko la we ko Osofo amene Jamaica me hiba ni bi ni yo ni sanafia me twebra mo ni yo na ke ha mi chi wana ke lololu amete mechi mo ameche ametu ne ka meke wo ameda fe no ni mi to anele ese na le nwe ko nja ke wo ko Ecclesiastes 3:7-8 eke a time to be silent and a time to speak okaji game eyuwe a hu amefe hu ha me bru hu nyoje kome nyoma ne he ne botu nyoma ke ekomemi na ke o bia na he ne hyenya ofi adi o koni wo eni wo hu kan babo ade wonye wo ke woni bi mo ke wo hwani ahwo amehi na menye ni ameke ha cho ofi ele wonye ha wo hitoe eke obo yu aka ni eneni aso no yo agenda kaji ofi fasting ofi edi o Osofo kaji shebe no ofi fasting ofo nhahele no ohima ofi edi o omeblanu eke ebu Matthew 6:6 akekeji asole bote mo tumi no nwo shina no sole ke ha o cheni yo temom ni ko le nwo ejie bo na ye temom li yo waja mo ni yo na ye ngbeje waja mo ni yo na ipote ngbeje o to yin ake o ko ba fu mi ye momom li fo mi momom li o ye hegbe ha bu kaji o temom li wo work o je mo ko ba pe momom li kajo ke ba hero na won wa ko ba ko hero na ko ni kajo man no je ke ba ne ba oba na he ko ye gan dan gbe chikon no hi no ba mo so mo ebie no otu ni no ohwele ebie no ka kusumi ni yo obie bo teshi ake bo oba fo mi ye hero na ke mo mi ja yin mo gbegbele fe oba sha mo yi you've got no blame. No one is supposed to blame you because one, if when you made your first step on the soil of the Greater Accra region, you were rejected, I promise you, you wouldn't have gotten this guts just to come and stand somewhere over the internet and then speak what you want to see. But it's simply because our people have this culture of assimilation. Nigerians will say assimilation. Culture of assimilation. Just come and stay with us. Because we believe that with the indigenous alone cannot set up the whole community. Therefore, we need people from outside to come and join us to be able to establish. Then once you just come over, then just begin to turn around the hand that invited you to come and stay. Then begin to bite. Why do we solve this issue? Mr. Pastor, Doctor, where do we stand to solve this issue? If I may ask you, you have been officiating at church services. Yes. Now, don't you have particular periods and times that regard how your church programs are supposed to be run? Don't you have it? You have. When you go to Methodist, you have Lent. When you go to Presby, you have Ascension Day, and among others, they are all same. You should even learn from these Orthodox churches that we have. Aside Roman Catholic and Anglican that haven't seen this. When you take the Methodist church and the Presbyterian church for examples, they have specific periods that they tell their audience and their congregation, hey, this particular month, this particular day, we are going African. Why? Huh? They go African because they know that before their version of worship will arrive over here, those over here already knew the Most High God. The only difference is that when those that brought your religion came, they were tagging those here as evil. Yes, they were tagging some as a barbaric because they haven't seen such acts over there before. And mind you, those over there are even much more barbaric than those that were here some time ago. Our ancestors, most of our ancestors were even civilized than those that brought your religion. Here lies the case. You are a black man. Yes, you pastor, you are a black man. But here lies the case, you've embraced what belongs to a white man to the extent that you are even regarding yourself as a white man. We are celebrating our indigenous black festival. They are claiming it is evil. But when it's time for you to celebrate Christmas and Easter, it is holy. Pastor, well done. I salute you. I greet you. You've done well. Pastor, you've done well. Go on. Inculcate these particular misconceptions you are having about yourself and the black people over here on this land into your children. And I tell you, one day it is going to set up a very strong conflict between your children and those that they are going to meet. Just teach yourself and teach your children to know that wherever you get to, customs and traditions on the land are supposed to be obeyed, whether they are in your favor or not. You are saying this because when it's time for the the Shiban and the homework, you don't get a offertory, true or false. People don't come. And then your fellow pastors that preach alongside the busy street of Accra, hey baby, hey baby, hey baby, they also don't get money. That's why. So, let's do some simple calculations here. You've got 12 months in a year. 12 months in a year, yes. And then you've been able to preach. You've been able to preach for good 11 months. Let's assume something of this sort. And then you've been asked that, okay, with this particular 1 month, just make sure you rest. Just be indoors and keep silent before the Most High God of whom you are preaching for people to give reverence to. And then you are saying, hey, it is barbaric. How possible is this? How? How? Just listen to yourself. How? If you look at your age, I can tell that you yourself, you were given traditional outdooring ceremony, traditional one. You are not taken to the church. Huh? Look at the name you are having. I can only say your father is a little bit or somehow it's an individual bearing formal education. I can say something of this sort. Maybe something little of that sort. That was why he gave you such a name. So if you have learned, if you as a pastor have learned, I'm expecting you to even give reference to the customs of the land and give respect to that. I also did CRS at senior high school. I can tell you. There was a portion we were learning somewhere where they were talking about tradition of the elders. What is that tradition? Where it is a Sabbath day, you're not supposed to walk for quite a limited period of time. Some kind of distance. You're not supposed to plug maize. Your cattle and whatever must not work. We all learn those things. That means that everywhere you go in this world, we have traditions and culture. Huh? When you watch your church is a charismatic church. When you watch your church critically, compare it to other churches and see how lost you people you are. I'm not attacking Christians here. But because of what you have said and what you have done, we have to bring this particular information out so that everyone out there will just sit and then do judgment and give themselves the credit. Huh? You go to this church. We don't leave our hair. We tie scarf. You go to this church. We worship on Saturdays only because we believe Saturday is the authentic day God gave to humans to worship. No problem. That's what we believe in. You go here, we don't wear slippers inside. Fine case. You go here, we don't eat this, we don't eat that, we don't drink this, we don't drink that. It is the same thing. All those things are coming together to make your religion unique. So, dear Mr. Pastor, since you are in Greater Accra, please learn to give credit and respect to the authorities on the land and whatever customs and traditions we have on the land, whether it favors you or not. If you think whatever we've got into is not favoring you and your money isn't coming, please remember you came from somewhere. Pack your things. Pack your things. Make sure you excavate your building and move to where you came from. Simple. So that you can have our land and work in peace. What is it? Are you sure any of us can just live here and come over to your region, go and tell your elders of the land, hey, please stop what you are doing. Whatever you are doing here is fetish. And for that reason, within the next 5 years, in fact, I am going to stand there and abolish everything spiritually. Please, where is this thing done? Dear Mr. Pastor. Oh. Some of you such pastors, even in your hometowns, when it's time for festive period, they have been catching strangers over there, they have been slaughtering them, using their blood for sacrifice and other things. You don't even tell those ones are fetish. Ever since you came to Greater Accra, have you ever heard that a human has been killed for sacrifice somewhere before? Dear Pastor, tell me. Osofo David Bidan now. Come on me. Ever since you came to Greater Accra, have you heard that a human has been sacrificed somewhere for rituals before? Some of you, I wonder, you live your uncivilized villages and towns. I don't like to tag any particular town. And then when you come to where is civilized, where has been made clean for you to come and stay, just come and stay in peace. Obey whatever is here, work, earn your money, get up for your family, and go away in peace. And I want to, you are attacking the people. What is this? What is this? In the Bible, don't you have biblical festivals? Don't you have? Or you want me to come and assist you with that one too in terms of lesson, I guess? You don't have. Festival of the Passover, you don't have. Yes. And no wonder. Me, if I should wear you, I can tell that maybe you are one of them. One of those pastors. Those that I can say they are fighting because of their stomach and their families. I can see something of that. So I didn't mean to insult you, please. Excuse my words. I'm not meaning to insult you. I'm trying to put a particular point to you. Because whatever you are doing here is clearly indicating that you don't know exactly what you are doing or what you are telling your church members. Just look at this. You are a pastor. Only God knows whether he has called you or not. But I can tell that you went to school of theology just to go and learn whatever it is about Christianity. And let me tell you this. We the Ghana people ourselves were even believing in that particular system of theology before your white whatever brought their version of the Christianity to us. Until now, we still believe in that. Yeah, people will say that everything in the world will pass away, but for the word of God will never pass. We give credit to that. Amen. We salute that. But let me tell you one thing. The ancestral deities we have on this Greater Accra land have existed long time ago before your version of Christianity came here to settle on the land. Have you ever heard that any deity has died? Now, I'm only trying to explain this point to you. You said this because you're having a documented source of whatever you are using to guide your church members. You have a documented source. Yes. But I'm telling you, the deities we have on our land are not asleep, and they are never going to sleep, and they will never be asleep. They have been existing long, and they will even exist because as of now, where things are getting to, most of the youth are now learning that most of these religions we have are full of deceit and lies. Yes. So that means that a time is coming, an era is coming, a generation is coming where people are going to rise up to start questioning you leaders of the church. Whenever people begin to bring such questions, then most of you will try to dodge by saying, if you ask too much questions about this, you go mad. You are lying. We know that when you ask much questions about this, you are just going to become more sensible. And then all those things, those stuff that were said to you earlier, that got your mind washed and chained up, is going to be unwashed, and the mind is going to open. For that reason, you are failing to do so. Because of people like you, herbalists cannot even use herbs to cure again. Because they know that whenever they are using herbs, you just start saying it is what? It is evil. Because of people like you. Yes, still you know your Bible that the Bible is quoting that all the plants you are having there, eat them and use the leaves to cure your healer. Therefore, Mr. Pastor, Greater Accra is not yours. Not me. You can say I live in Greater Accra. Greater Accra is for Ghana, I'm a Ghanaian, so it's mine. But you are lying. If you go to heaven and camp, if you die today, you will go to your village out of Greater Accra to be buried. Yes. So when those that are here, authentic indigenous, natives of the land, are here, those that when they die, they'll be buried in Greater Accra. If you have anything of this particular info, please move to them, seek advice from them. Rather than you sitting over there speaking rubbish, excuse my words, Tafulachi, speaking rubbish and then trying to move up and down for so many things that are not even important. You see this blow and this one, good, I've crossed it out. I was taught that whenever a child is speaking before elders, and then he does this, means that he should be pardoned for whatever he says as an insult. Please, I'm teaching you one. Osofo, for that reason, if I've insulted you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. But whatever the point is, I have to make it clear to you. Now, let's come back to the wall. I was telling you, in your place, in your region, you have festivals. You know that when it's time for you to even bury your royals, you look for people that are not authentic and actually they're native to you. You kill them in secret, kill them in silence. Then you go and bury. You add them to the dead body to go and bury. You leave those ones, you just come and sit down in Greater Accra and just start spewing rubbish. Jay. Jay. I don't blame you. Like I said, I don't blame you. But when you came here earlier on, if you were not given anywhere to stay, you would have gone back to your place. And then I personally know why you came to Accra. It's not because Accra is a city, but it's because the Bible said that a prophet is never honored on his land. So you left your region where you were not honored. Then you came to Greater Accra, where you come and receive credit from the indigenes. And here lies you today, turning your back against the people, and then biting the finger that is now feeding you. Greater Accra is feeding you because you've established your church on the source of Greater Accra. So for that reason, Greater Accra is feeding you. Imagine if all these rights were not put in place, like you, would you have come and stay in Greater Accra? If everyone was spewing rubbish like you are spewing, dear pastor, are you sure? Like as I know, Greater Accra would have been a peaceful and quiet place for you to come and stay. You see, at times it's not your fault too. It's the fault of we, the vulnerable Greater Accra. People of the vulnerable Greater Accra, it's our fault. Because if you come and you are preaching a different language, there's a church in my locality just at the back of my house. After I can't go to my church, let me just pass by and go to that place. Then before I realize, one person, two people, 3, 4, 5, the church begins to grow. Whenever I raise the issue of this, yes, and it's time for the festival, and I'm telling you, God said to me, whatever they do there is evil. The first person that will stand up to say yes is a person from Greater Accra. They'll even give you reference and they'll give it to you into details. That's because they themselves people are not even ready to accept who they are. No wonder they will sit down for other languages to rule over them. You meet the two of them of the same bloodline, same latopan, and just begin to speak in a different dialect. I blame them. Pastor, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. If all those people were like me, like your church, you would have seen those that will be coming inside. Some of you people, I just don't know. No one from Greater Accra has ever stood up to say anything evil against any particular person in Greater Accra before. With the exception of what I heard happened recently concerning Osofo Dag Hayward, Ashante Manche thing. Aside this, I've never heard of this thing anywhere else. Yes, so your people will just come up, just rise up and begin to spew J. J. When we are singing our songs, you say hey. Time for tradition, hey. Whatever we do simply doesn't glorify you. Now, we are not here to glorify you. We are here on this Greater Accra region, this source of Greater Accra, to glorify the Maker, because he has brought us down here for a particular work. And whereas when we finish, we are to report back to him and give him account of whatever we have done. We also have this in our authentic religion, not only your Christianity. Therefore, Pastor, why? Okay, let me give you a piece of advice. Whenever it is time for more festivities and you think it's going to affect your business, please, starting from next year, just try and open a branch of your church, another major branch of your church at your region or in your region. Then when it is time for us to have our rights, you just move over there to go and continue with your service. And then when it's time for them to have their service or their festivities, to just be there preaching and tell them it is evil. If you know you have power, you have guts, you've got a spirit, why didn't you stop the festival at your hometown? But you are here on the south of Greater Accra to come and stop the one going on. There is nothing you can do. Absolutely nothing, Pastor, nothing. Why didn't you say you are coming to attack all those people that are doing the right? Why didn't you say you are coming to attack them physically by stopping spiritually? Because you know that those in your church are even deceiving them. You are a deceiver. You are deceiving those in your church. You are deceiving them. By 2022, we are all here. We all shall see whether by 2022 it's going to be cancelled or not. And it's really going to shock you up, because you are just going to be there when this ban will be implemented again. And if you think you are a man, just go against it. I don't know where you are, but if you want me, I'll give you my address and my line. My number is 027-1377717. That's me, my line. You can call me and talk to me. You can call me to insult me. For me, one thing about me is this: I don't insult elderly people. And wherever I get to, across any particular town, I respect the laws of the land. That's because I know that every particular land has rules and regulations traditionally regarding that particular land or regarding that land. So how come you just rise up? You just rise up, come around, just because other people are also doing, you will stand up and do it. Again, I don't blame you. Also, I don't blame you. I will say it like 10,000 times. So let me show you. Ni amame to na me you name eko eneme no you you eko. So for that I don't blame you. Huh? Game bo abewa ka di ngo ba kombo ejo bo ne jo mama ke kuluko ba kombo o mama no bu o no mi ejo. So since those that are around us have been able to implement this, how come you, a foreigner, will not get the vigor and the vim to also do this? It's not your fault. It's not your fault. All leaders in Greater Accra, I'm calling on all of you to make sure that his church is closed down. And any particular man has not been able to implement what he has said. It's someone nga. It's someone nga. It like no to the chance of mobiale. You should have even sat down there to do your own simple and self-assessment. Okay, how come I'm going to preach 1, 2 to my people and go and do otherwise? That means that you, the pastor yourself, you are not exemplary to your church members. We have so many religions on this land. Huh? When we work traditionally, we have Yeve. We have a theater, we have the Pili, we have the May, we have the Okon, Akom, we have the Otu. Among that, there's plenty. Huh? When you take your Christianity per se, when you take your charismatic section per se, we have people like you that have diverted and implemented our traditional ways into Christianity. It is there, you know. You know. Huh? So what at all is your problem? What at all is your problem? You are expecting those of us on the land to live for you to take over. One annoying thing that really baffles me, that really sends me off my head is this. They will say that those in Greater Accra do not travel. Why don't you travel? Now let me ask you this question. To you, Pastor Bidan, you've left your place to this place. Now let me give this to you and your people. Those supporting you. You are saying we don't travel. Yes. After the place has been made, Greater Accra has been made the capital. You are not expecting us to travel back to the forest where you came from. So that we help to develop that place. Then you come and take here. Jena kain, aouf. You can't see fun, nyafun, nyeba wua. What fan agbe? What should be an hand? You like sabi be echi. Me when you hear kai, you walk the package. You ba try what fire jam, you fire, you ba try warm me. You walk the package, ona, J, huh? You ba try ke one show. Kemi ni bia mi. What shani? Last time I was watching a video circulating on social media. I think was it Agbogoloshi or one of those areas. Sorry. There was rainfall. And there was this woman from somewhere up. I don't want to mention the region. She was up. Near Wodre no, Kolefa no Nechia Umpua. Surely. Then they check about Fabejing. Fabejing Konde ba FFing. People like you, your people. You know that you even have dates that we cannot even identify them. Your people. Hey my boy. Ni aya few. Wala get gandan we fen blind time man chejibu. Mi ne ken yakpon. Ni lumohena akabota shi eje mepe. Ye kule jeme biana. Sakabota shi gandan we fen na. Kaji lumojibo ye hekwa lumojibo ye fen. One power fight corner ne amashi. Kama ko gweje ekpone ba yemi enje kpomi emi yiwe. Corner ne amashi. Ni ne ken my 2x4 Osofo fen. Atwa me enoko. I'm telling you, Christian Council of Ghana. I'm here license. I'm to mo I'm to musu e wo dark musu e wo dark musu ke wo e wo. I'm to mo he ko me 2x4 of ya zan. E ka meta ma to fa what you go so mo chichi. E ka me kan tuni. No say wa me fedi. Aba blo kusumi na join kwa ba me hwe kan shi kusumi. Ana me like Christo da mo kusumi PM. Ana me le. Amele Christo da mo kusumi PM. I'm like Islam, they are kusumi yemi. Inna komukoneja Islam mi. Inna komukoneja Islam mi. Na yue kashi kusumi na chunye gadan. Dangwe kwa kanfa. Like dangwe me kwa me baby efi to me suwa me sani. Chebe to gan ya fe yitu e wo. Chi mu fe adam o gan. Inna kwa usa nyokonete shi na yue kashi kusumi ko na chunye gan lo dangwe dan. Shi dane. Kat na ba yue no. Asante 2x4. I'm a pameka than in which I'm letting watch on me. Now, there won't pa my I'm a so much. Can I say, I'm a fan committee? I'm a pet and I'm a record. She kusumi, and I was a genuine manager. I was a genuine manager. I was a genuine Jena kind. I'm a genuine. Minisani. Quite a no, but now Kusuna, Kusuna, I can want to na a jolly, or more be a message go to chon. And she go to chon. Oh, I never feel so she knows all you are. Oh, na tao mana mambini bafe mana dam the mano. Bafe mana dalu. Gadang with Papa Fe. Kalama Kahoka, many obuto upload. I wish la fata many badamona. Konika Naka no go to Monica and Tony will no pay. I want to not finally. I mean, you should point you. No say one when kusumi na afio kan itaje mata shi ko ni na kan ho ahi anya tu kusumi be na onye ba nyenye kan shi e ba yin kwa shole pone ya ashole ne ya gaje wakale no njiga e je ko ni ba ke ko ne yin ne je ke ba ni pale se ne ya je mu kala play no ko no ku aga le je ke ko e so mo na efio e ma mi e so mo bi e ban e ja ka me ka malek baloji le iwo amalek baloji le iwo e se ba ho kan bana fe ni me ni yo gan yen na chi mo ne laka ni musu ene ta wenye ne ko neye ni ko bata shi nwe femo di nwe oyiwe femo di no ka yue nwe e ka ko bata shi ko gbo da bo yue je o fe ko noko shi ne jo abu ni mle nwe kun e wona he gota shi o yo no su shi be ko ne huwe be ni ka se mo cho me be ko ne huwe some time ago. If those prayers used to be now, like I'm sure you would have been sacrificed 1,000 years ago. About Shamfolek, I won't go to Nile. About Tana can walk again. Ethiopia, about Ethiopia, about Shamfolek, I can walk. No, here in Yankee Halley. What is this? I'm sure in your church you have authentic Ghana people in your church. When this video gets to you, let them listen and explain to you in your language, in the language you understand. What is this? Huh? Who can stand up? Which particular Ghanaian indigene is going to stand up to speak against the culture of your people from your region? Which particular Ghanaian person? That's because we are always quiet. We've given respect. We've given respect. Waka boo. Kusum fe na jo e Ghana kupa no no fe pe. Okay ha fe. Chika se no ne kwa ha wo. Kenye ne ha wo. For the why? Huh? For the why? It's unfair. It's unfair. You are doing it because you are not dying. You are not dying. You are not dying. You are not dying for Greater Accra. If you were to be dying for Greater Accra, you would have left. Your Moses said, the laws of the land must be obeyed. That's why you have Mosaic laws. When Jesus came, he said, I came not to abolish the law. Yes, but I came to fulfill it. That means that when he even came, he knows that Moses has set laws on the land before he even set his foot there. For that reason, when he gave credit to that particular laws he came to meet. Who are you, pastor? To say you no respect. Me, Sandy. Afi anu ehye. Mo fe mu yi. Kejo la ke boji bono ewa, Osofo ewa. Teshi mu na kono fom. Fomi. Keje sha afi wose afi Kenya. Na acheje ma woja yin pa kencha me ka cha me boy wo kana me ba. Ya sanfle bongo. No mame na. Lucky Muami kana me ba ka cha me ka ba. Wo wana ko ye wale. Above when I did many, no need go back to film when people started doing this a long time ago. What they were able to obtain? At long run, they were caught to be deceitful people, peke. Liars. That only lie for their stomach. Oh, Baba, how will go a Greater Accra, Bonnie, Ofedi. Cash, my lawyer, you way, none, I mean, I'm on my tower, but Fedi, the Bows. Now, baby, a boy, black by a mardi. The whistle of the stranger many a times doesn't sound loud in the midst of the indigents. But yours is sounding loud because most of our indigents have given you the go ahead. They've relaxed, they've sat down. So people like you are standing up to talk their rubbish. What's the meaning of that? Huh? I am thereby calling Numo Babulo Moshe this particular afternoon. I am calling on the Shite of the Gadangme state that he should call and then penalize people what you have said. Like the way others have done. Since you have not learned from their mistakes, I think yours should be worse. Yours must be worse. You should have said this thing. Like you really have heavy, like kind of thing. You really have some kind of a heavy authority or something of that. So like that's what happened to you. Yeah, now be me only trying to get back. Yeah, I'm not saying get home. Many who ne? Kaji bo shi o man no ba mo ko mare chu gwa like kusum de tun epa. For the how? Who are you? When your boy? Oh boy. I don't believe insulting anyone is going to cause any difference. Nye ke dangbe be nya what yashi. Ni wo ke wo ke bula kusum na atun e shipon no. Kaji wo nye wo fe ne pe many body say gbagba wo me kana kan bula ba kusum na atun o. Show na kan na ka aka la gbami. E ga wo Bluetooth speaker be sun be tele. Many had it go ni ba lo ba fi na kan. No ba fi no ni feto no ni bo manual fi o. Ene me fe ya mi ku. Ene me fe ya mi. Eneme ne na me fi o ne fe fatai. Ya wo ti ashi. Ha? Mo fe mo na ba yo se gba ke man important no je. O yu mo ko kusum mi ba na ba yo se gba ke no je ni. Ko te so ojo egani. Ta fla te gan po den je onyo yu. Onyo yu onyo kan de hu. Onye mi keke. Ka chabu kete ka chabu keba. catch up bukete catch up bukeba many ani your mobile fefe jina ka game na me ka me ko mano yo mo pa am you am na me your mobile am me ko ni ga here suation am jam yeko am ya mieko ha ka yo nunu aba yo dan no ka yo nunu aba yo dan no am am ya mieko oba na gan fo mo bi kron ta cho boten a cho mi na ameli nege na ameli ne ba shibu ka na enyami kanuku e kele bon yo mo kokro yue mu ekomeyem enne me ekomeyem ekomene kejo te dangwe bi aje kejo te dangwe magianu ame won ngmene amo me fo atwi ken fota me yue mu like gbaba futu ami ka gbaba futu bu e be la fota yen here yue mo ni yo bo ma no ha ni lelio mami ko mami maje ko ba ko acho ko joshi press bi so mo tun ese mami le eje nije ocho la amelia eje nije gan yu obi ani eyu ogan e ba na fi oni pepe ju afiten ana ne gan yu e ga bi fa me yu ogan e wo te ba le ten na menye kan na amefe no kuku amefe ni en coat amecho na kan ni minti oh to yo ten minti amenye kai o ka di bo kan yo bo onye bo he no ba fe alert mi o ba afu na kai mo ba hele shin e ka yue mo ba ye bo no nkuni no kusumi no ochun da na ba fe abunsan e ba tag na ka kusumi aka abunsan keje sane mu na ke yo gadangbe ni e wa lu me fe keje manche me wulo me agbafo ache me sikitele asafo ache me akwashon che me shipifue meni wole anya fanye ti asnye fu anya ba na na afia kuma na achaya na ke wo gadangwe kusume na atun wonu bona fe ni yomo tete yomo anye ya shon nya wo blanta ahi wale nya wo me hi wale aka chokomie ne ke nye pe koyo mi ko me ne ke nye mafi mane mato shishi che ba se ko ba bia ka sani mo ko afata he ko ne ke yin to no ke ba na nye machine ye mu ha be ke ni be ba ka wo che ke me ne che ka che e ko boy wo nu we kra ne gbe wo ya be ni won play ahyefu na play aka ba ya hi be won ya se kadi wo fa wonyo kete ye ko fa wonu mo kete se ne wo da na wo ma je no wonye wo chi wo ya wo fu akusum ya wo kasi ani kusum ehi nkun so hie no ta gbe na ka wo ka wo mu kusum ehi nkun yo mo no yu o na ka yo mo skin ba bobu yo mo boto oda no ni sa no le no hu ja ke ye be fu ma tempo le jampa me ya kusum do fu ma tempo me po amele kusum kajo ka o ka seble masandi ni ya history o ka se ka ne ko meketi o pa me fio ko o shanye ke nyenyi wana ke amede che me po me ya kusum mi bo African ni titri bo gadangwe nu oloe ole kusum ni yo na atun kadi bi e she e ko tun se ko ke pe ke ofua ni no na afia ni ko ni me ne ko me gwa na egbe na me tun kusum ka cho e na ka kusum wa yue no ko fon ke ha gboko le on ke e ba na egbe ne ke na bu yue je ke shi mini no ni mina ho na mi na atele na abo na ai game mi ngotele ke dangwe mi ngotele na wo ho na he ha mini cry what to your power na cho don po na he ba mini na go so for yeta we se gbenye kala yuwa mo fe mo no ba je kwa video e ke mo ba je baba na video ni e te si na kan so for e kele no ko ne ande won ande le ake game agbe won wa sa wo yi ka me ka mba ha won ba ha mi wo ifa wagame wo ifa sikaji wo chaya ni wo na yuto kome wo ka na bute bele kome aka no afi me oba ni oba afi ne ba yo manye ke ba shi ko ta no manya ba